Lady yields back. I now recognize Ms. Scholten from the great state of Michigan for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thanks to my teammate, Ms. Kim Hines, for tossing over a great toss to me. We play softball together, and that tees up perfectly a lot of the questions that I had for you about a bill that I just introduced yesterday, the Women's Business Center Improvement Act of 2026, along with my colleague, Sharice Davids. This is a bipartisan bill that would address so many of the issues that we were just discussing in the last question line. A bipartisan bill in the last several Congresses. You know, we don't have to work on this alone. Invite you to take a look at the bill, get on board, and would love the administration's help in championing this bill and getting it across the finish line. We can address so many of these issues. This bill would increase the authorization level for women's business centers, add program integrity provisions, and increase the grant amount that WBCs can receive from $150,000 to $350,000. Is that something you could support?
Congressman, thank you. Excuse me. We're always happy to provide technical assistance and work with you through the Office of Legislative Affairs. Really, one of the challenges, frankly, is program design when it comes to Women's Business Center program, and so you're addressing some of that. But it's also we have duplication, and ultimately where these centers are located and how they're dispersed. For example, right now California has 21, Texas has 3, and so that's an issue that we have to address. But it also comes down to efficiency, and is this an efficient use of funds with smaller groups? And should Congress talk about combining all these resource partners into one, have one grant per state? And what that would do is it would have lower costs for SBA and actually lower administrative costs for the resource partners. For example, WBCs, one of them told me their compliance cost is $60,000 a year. We give them $150, they raise $150. The average has a couple of employees. $60,000 going to compliance costs. That's not efficient. So we have a program design issues.
And I would agree with you there, and our office is very happy to work with you to see the ways in which we might be able to improve this bill. Teammate, we want to get you on board as well. She's like, I'm out of here. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. But truly, this is not something that we're doing just for messaging bills. This is a great bill that has been bipartisan in past Congresses. We would love for your office to take a look, get on board, see where we may be able to improve some of those efficiencies. But I am going to circle back to my question. Would you support lifting the cap from $150,000 to $300,000? The economic advantages are so significant.
Congressman, we support the president's budget that's making the hard decisions when it comes to these discretionary programs.
I want to move on to talk a little bit more about some of these outstanding payments to the women's business centers. Our ranking member has touched on this before, and I would like to introduce for the record a letter from the Association of Women Business Centers dated July 21st, 2026, and the data collection results that they have here, which goes to something specifically that you had said. $12 million. $12.6 million to be specific. This figure reflects in outstanding payments. Do you think that's acceptable?
Congresswoman, as you've heard testified, we inherited a broken system, and actually Women's Business Center program had some of the worst records and processes.
But how,
and so we had to pause
into this
to bring clear. And we've actually in the last year dispersed $15 million to WBCs. Yeah.
So we respect that this was maybe not something that initiated with this administration, but you guys are in control. So, do you find this acceptable? Do women not deserve to get paid?
Well, Congressman, thank you, but that's a ridiculous assertion. We pay everybody. The resource partners.
Answer the question. So there's $12.6 million in outstanding payments. You guys are in charge.
We've dispersed $15 million this fiscal year to Women's Business Center, so that's not nothing. And payments have resumed, and we are working very quickly. But frankly, if you think about it, we've lost 25% of the time in this administration between the shutdown and the pause.
In my remaining 30 seconds, I want to ask, you said there have been no layoffs as a result of delayed payments or grants not getting out, these notice of funding opportunities. How do you know that?
Congresswoman, now frankly, I misspoke when I was not thinking about SCORE. And so I misspoke on that, but SCORE, what the SCORE new leadership did,
so you're correcting
they realized,
about
yes,
that.
Yes,
okay.
yes, that was my mistake. But SCORE's leadership team admitted that it was bloated. So, and their board admitted that it was bloated. So that is clear.
Can we have your commitment to get these women paid?
We're not paying women, we're paying the organization, some of which are run by men.
It's the Women's Business
lady,
Center,
time's up.
so let's not be pedantic about it. All right, thank you. Yield.